Howdy gamers. As a part of a video that will be out at some point, I've consumed nothing but Fortnite for an entire month. During this time, I didn't just play an assload of Fortnite, I also watched people play Fortnite for the first time ever. I watched dudes streaming and screaming. My God! I watched dudes build battle. I even watched dudes explain their deep tech secrets and pro plays. In short, I was watching a lot of really sweaty men. In this sea of sweaty tryhards, one guy really struck out to me, and I found myself coming back to his content more often than players with more technical skill or larger personalities, and his name is BushCampDad. And today I wanted to share what he can teach us about Fortnite, and even what he can teach us about life.
Man, somebody else was in the bush. Hey, top 3's not bad though.
So who is BushCampDad? For starters, BushCampDad is about as unique of a content creator as you can find. To call BushCampDad an outlier in this era of online content is as big of an understatement as calling your sister's OnlyFans a little promiscuous. He's pretty much everything that this era of content creators isn't. He isn't a young 20-something, he isn't cracked out of his mind at the game he plays, he isn't aiming to be as loud and obnoxious as humanly possible, and he isn't an MK Ultra victim doomed to repeat one of the 3 phrases he knows over and over and over again. He's a dude in his 50s who barely plays the game he's streaming half the time, and his setup is about as bare bones as you can find on Twitch. At a time when people are spending big money on fancy lights, cameras, and streaming PC setups, this man is rocking a basic webcam and a PlayStation. But the 2 things that really make him stand out from everyone is his gameplay and his attitude. Generally speaking, Twitch is filled with people that haven't gone outside since their high school graduation, and as such have developed extreme skill in one particular game. BushCampDad is the exact opposite. Despite streaming nothing but Fortnite, he's pretty god-awful at the game. That's not just me saying it, he said it himself multiple times. His aim is worse than me in a clutch or kick situation, and his building skill is extremely basic. BushCampDad is aware that he lacks those skills, but he also plays with the goal of hitting the top rank of Unreal every single season. This sounds impossible. Fortnite is a game that involves a lot of skills, and at high-level competitive play, bad aim and basic building just isn't gonna cut it. You might be on that tiger blood if you think potato aim is gonna beat players like this. But BushCampDad knows his limitations and he knows who he's going up against, so he doesn't try and compete directly with the sweat lords. While everyone else is dying, build battling another 12-year-old high on misprescribed amphetamines, BushCampDad is hiding his way to a top 10 finish while working his actual job on his laptop. BushCampDad sets up camp harder than a failed Austrian painter. He spawns in with his iconic green alien skin and tries to blend in with the trees or the bushes, and that is literally all he does. While you spent thousands of hours aim training and build battling in custom lobbies, this dude hit top 30,000 by not playing the game. Generally, this level of camping is frowned upon or straight up despised. Back in the day, camping like this would get you flamed with curses and slurs so foul that if I repeated them, I'd get a multi-million-dollar kick deal. The reason I think BushCampDad gets a pass is because of who he is and the fact that camping isn't an actual part of his strategy to get kills. Camping is his only strategy. Most campy players camp just to try and pick people off from a distance, but that's not the case with the Bushman. BushCampDad avoids any confrontation if he can get away with it. He straight up finds a spot before putting the controller down and doing his real job, only moving whenever the storm makes him move. That's not to say he's never killed anybody. Sometimes you have to do what you gotta do to get to the top, but in his nearly 800 matches so far this season, he's only killed a little over 100 players. His KD is atrocious. It looks like a college kid's GPA after discovering League of Legends. However, his pacifism is strangely captivating to watch. From a gameplay perspective, it just shouldn't work. So seeing him climb rank and finish in the top 25 or top 10 or even winning a game is a weirdly entrancing experience. From a content perspective, it really shouldn't work either. Watching a dude put his controller down and AFK while working at a real job should be extremely boring, but for whatever reason, it just isn't. Whenever I tune into his stream, I just need to see how high he's gonna finish. But I think what really keeps me around game after game is his attitude more often than the results of the games themselves.
Not to be arrogant, but there are a lot of streamers on here that are grinding, streaming to make a living. I'm not one of them, so don't feel like you have to use your money to support me.
I hate the word wholesome, probably because neckbeards on Reddit have described everything from two kittens cuddling to hardcore anal prolapse pornography as wholesome. But wholesome is really the best description I have for BushCampDad. He's so wholesome that even his quote-unquote stream snipers come and give him stuff instead of ruining his games. I don't think it gets much more wholesome than that. He loves doing giveaways for his community, talking to people in his chat, and he still gets excited about getting 200 bits. There's a lot of content creators that feel like they're owed their community or viewership. However, BushCampDad seems to really enjoy the community he's built, and he doesn't take any of it for granted at all. I wish that that kind of creator was the norm, but on most of the internet, this level of positivity is completely absent. Everywhere you look on the internet, people are profiting from bad behavior. People are harassing each other, getting paid to talk out their ass, and generally saying and doing provocative shit for quick cash and easy clicks. Those that are just trying to do the whole gaming thing can be just as toxic too. A lot of the time I watch a big streamer playing the game that they always play, and it seems like they don't even enjoy it. Every word out of their mouth is how the game absolutely sucks, and they become belligerent with their own community and other players in the game at the drop of a hat. So seeing the way BushCampDad interacts with both is wholesome to say the least. He gets killed by somebody in a ridiculous way, and he loves it. He starts laughing at the ludicrousness of the situation. He wins a 1v1 and he's actually happy and excited about that happening. It's not uncommon to see him laughing at the game and generally enjoying himself, win or lose. It might seem crazy that people have put their fists through their monitor for a game that has Ninja Turtles grittying in it, but people really have. He approaches Fortnite the way that I think more of us should approach the games that we play. He plays for the fun of it. Sure, his ultimate goal is to hit Unreal rank, but that seems secondary to just having a good time. It might sound stupid to say that people should play their games for the fun of them, considering that games are pretty much just complex toys, but I'm sure that many people have lost that childlike joy that they used to get when playing video games. How many of you have booted a game up that you know you hate only to surprisingly have a bad time playing that? How many of you have rage queued in a game that wasn't even fun after you lost the first game of the night? For a lot of people that play online games, the competitive aspect has wringed the fun out of them, and a lot of that comes from changing the core reason for playing the game in the first place. When playing solely for competition, the goal is no longer hanging out and having fun for a little while. The goal is a number or a name next to a rank. Naturally, playing the meta is the most likely way to hit that number or rank, so that's what people do, even if playing the meta is about as fun as cock and ball torture. Competitive games stick you at a crossroads between playing the way you want to and winning, or at least that's what we're conditioned to believe. I think BushCampDad proves the opposite at least a little bit. He plays the way he wants to, and he also has a lot of fun playing that way. It's wholesome to see a guy succeeding doing it the way that he wants to do it. It's even better when it's a 50-year-old dad completely unbothered by the fast-moving world of online stupidity. If build battling and aim skill are the only way to get to the top, then how is BushCampDad at the top? Even the origin of the stream is pretty funny. The origin seems to come from a joke with his kid that he could hit Unreal in Fortnite. He doesn't take the game or streaming seriously because he has a fulfilling life outside of both of those things. BushCampDad's just a dude thriving in his own lane, doing his own thing, and I absolutely love it. Just like negativity breeds more negativity, positivity will eventually build more positivity. By just being himself, playing the game that he likes to play in the way that he likes to play it, and succeeding along the way, BushCampDad has built a community of positivity around him and his content, and that positivity really is infectious. That positivity is what inspired me to make this video in the first place and give you a few takeaways from watching his content. He's reminded me that even if a game is competitive, that I should have fun with it. He's reminded me not to take the little things so seriously, and don't let something as dumb as losing a game ruin your entire day. He's also reminded me not to fear doing things in my own way, as long as it's a fun and fulfilling experience for me. Ask yourself, if a 51-year-old camper with no real skill in a game can hit the top rank back-to-back-to-back seasons, what can you accomplish if you put your mind to something? Have fun, be yourself, and focus on the positives. Thanks for watching.
Japanese.